the holographic mind. All the energy that ever was, is, or can be is already here. Energy is all there is. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Our thoughts are energy. Nothing else is energy, since everything occurs in our minds. What sometimes happens is that through increased information, unbeknownst to our conscious mind, we do change our thoughts, which fleetingly affords us to change our circumstances, which then change our perceptions, which then change our beliefs, which then begin to create more workable thoughts, which create circumstances more to our liking. What works best is if we can release the whole programming, because then we are clear to create what we want. We need to stop the fear-based thinking, which is so ingrained in us that we consider it natural. It is not. Our circumstances follow our thoughts. Nothing is created without thought. Thought is the only source of energy. Energy is what it creates and takes to create. And energy is all there is. Since thoughts are creative energy, we must be vigilant about how we spend our energy. Praying for things that don't exist, for instance, things of this world, will get us nothing. So we pray to change our perceptions, or we pray in gratitude. It is done. Prayers are then answered, and so it is. Emo Phillips states, I prayed for a bicycle until I realized God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bicycle and I prayed for forgiveness. The powers that be don't want us, whom they consider the enemy, to know their secrets. They promote each of us as the other's competition, when in fact our opposition is the way closer to home, our very own ego mind. If we continue to believe that what is going on in the world is real and creates fear for us, that we must now begin to wear nose and face masks and social distancing from each other, we must consider that we are continuing to create it. If we want to change the world, which exists only in our minds, we must first change our minds about the world. When we fear, we serve only the dark entities which thrive on our fear. When we rise above fear, they cease to exist. At least our minds, and seeing as everything exists in our minds, they will cease to exist, except for those who choose to keep them alive by paying their attention to them. We will win. We are watching a horror movie which ends well. Keep up your spirits in anticipation for the famous final scene. When we are told something over and over, as in programming our mind manipulation, the public force system, which is the media, government propaganda, TV advertising, TV news, satanic ritualistic cult abuse, billboards, sexual abuse, etc., with any emotion surrounding it, for instance, the official story on the World Trade Center demolitions, then the system and the subconscious mind, which is the ego, accepts it as true and incorporates it into beliefs of some kind of belief system. And when the truth confronts us, it is automatically rejected. It simply doesn't fit into the belief system. It's like trying to file into your documents folder two separate articles with the same title. The computer rejects the second one, even though the second file has the more accurate information, or you wouldn't be bothering to file it. The computer is at least smart enough to request you either change the name of the second file or dump the original, which is what most people do, since the original is no longer true. But the ego mind is more tenacious than the computer because there is emotional identity behind it. Hence, we find closed-minded people who actually think they know what is going on in the world, when in fact it's all just propaganda. Problem, the reaction to the problem, and what constitutes a solution. As soon as we stop paying attention to the low energy level mirages, they simply disappear because the only thing which allows them to exist in the first place is our attention, our energy. Mind and time are inseparable. If we are experiencing time, we are in our minds, and if we are experiencing our minds, we are in time. Aging is the passage of time, and those who seem not to age are those who spend less time in their heads. Nothing happens without energy. The only source of energy is thought. If one feels the emotion of joy, the vibration in the body is increased and extends out and attracts the similar. Thoughts are low energy, hence the vibration in the body is diminished and can alter cellular structure. It extends out and attracts the similar. Psychotherapy. People are getting fleeced into believing that their problems will take time and money to solve, when in fact they are unsolvable. All that needs to occur is that they get released. And Werner Herhard states, most of our problems disappear simply by the process of living life. And Thomas Saz, in its Myth of Mental Illness, states, statistics show that 66% of clients are cured with psychotherapy. What statistics don't show is that 72% are cured without it. Women handle their problems by complaining and having their friends listen with compassion. That is usually all that is required. Psychotherapists are just expensive friends. Women vent, they feel listened to, they do not solicit advice, which men I would give and hence give. Why will any woman with a brain, tell a man of problems? Women want to feel loved, which is all any ego wants anyway, and they go home feeling much better after being to a psychotherapist. Those who detect that it is not so much a present day problem that is holding them up rather than something in their programming which must be dragged into the trash and a new program reinstalled, must seek assistance with the release of the program. Feeling of inferiority and superiority are the same. They both come from fear. Now, let's talk about the COVID-19 symptoms and the similarities of what we're seeing currently right now in this lockdown. Energy flows where attention goes. Focus on what you want and on what you don't want. Don't focus on what you don't want. Unfortunately, however, due to the continuous decline of nutrients in our diet, for the